I wanted to know what motivated you to become a product owner, you know?
So apparently, as my journey started with technical or IT world, I started with as application support engineer. Then I progressed towards lead and then towards product owner. So while I was working for application support with my company as Amdocs, being telecom industry, I had learned the domain so well that I knew where the fault was, where the issue was, how we need to connect things, how we need to integrate things, and where the integration is having a fault.
So I also wanted to know, like, you transition into this product owner role, right, without any prior experience or a degree in it. So what gave you that confidence to try, right?
Yeah, so as I said that having the domain knowledge was not enough. If I tell you, you won't believe that I had to give like 18 interviews within Amdocs just to crack one role as a product owner. And 18 interviews is no less. So when I started giving interviews, the first question that I would get from product managers is that, are you technical?
And I wanted to move forward and ask you, like, what resources, like books, courses, or mentors, or like on the job exposure that you had that helped you most in this product owner role or get into this product owner role?
For me, thankfully, I belong to a very, very amazing organization. Amdocs, as an organization, does not believe in training their engineers when they join. If you are a fresher when you join, they don't give you a liberty of, taking a month or 2 months to understand things. They will give you on-job training. You start working day one.
Okay, that's great. And I'm glad to know actually your manager has been so supportive, and trust me, I think it's a blessing to have a great manager. And I've met a lot of people who have made transition like internally within the company. And one thing that I've observed is like these people have always mentioned about their manager, like their manager, how they supported them through this transition. So do you think that it's very important or it is helpful to have a manager who's supporting you through that transition?
It's vital. There is no doubt in that you do your best, you give your 100%, but if there is no recognition, who will recognize you? Who will recognize the work that you have done? It's your immediate manager because he knows what you're putting there. You're putting your efforts. I used to work until 3 o'clock at night because
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to Tech Exploration Hub. Today we are here for our episode 9th, and today we have here with us Shaista Sheikh, who is a product owner. And an interesting fact to share is that she is my sister. So I'm really, really excited to have her here. And I'm just hoping that we don't end up talking in our mother tongue. So let's try to keep it as much as we can in English. So yeah, I'm really excited to know about her journey, her experiences. So with that said, I will let Shaisa give a brief introduction about herself before we move on to the questions.
thanks, Kushbu. Thanks a lot for introducing me and letting me come on this podcast of yours. And getting interviewed by you is great. I love it. I'm so excited about this. So yes, hi everyone. I'm Shaista, and I'm a product owner at present. Officially, I'm a technical platform owner too, and working as a product owner for one of the very famous healthcare company, Centene. On the personal front, I'm a mother of three kids. Yes, you heard it right, three kids. So that's 7-year-old, 3-year-old, and 1-year-old. All three are girls, and yeah, we are having fun time juggling between the two lives. So I think Khushbu knows as well, being my sister. So that's on my personal front, and professionally, I'm looking forward to progressing. So hopefully things work out fine for me.
That's nice. Thank you so much, Shaista, for sharing that with us. So, with that said, let's move on to the questions that I have for you today. I wanted to know what motivated you to become a product owner. You know, what was the motivation?
So apparently, as my journey started with technical or IT world, I started with as application support engineer. Then I progressed towards lead and then towards product owner. So while I was working for application support um, with my company as Amdocs, being telecom industry, I had learned the domain so well that I knew where the fault was, where the issue was, how we need to connect things, how we need to integrate things, and where the integration is having a fault. So the best part was being an application support engineer, telling the development team what they have to do is a big thing. It usually does not work like that in the IT world. It usually works the way around. Like development team will tell you how they have developed it, and we need to work on it as an application support. So looking at my work, my one of my clients, they mentioned to me, you have such good domain knowledge, and not everybody being an application support engineer obtains that. And having that knowledge is very difficult. Why don't you try for a product owner role? And I was like, okay, what is that? And I had to Google about it. I read about what the responsibilities this particular role has. And I felt, yes, this is something that I can do best. I would be very great at this and I can justify this role. So that's when I thought that I will chase this role and I'll get through it.
Thank you so much for that. That's so interesting. And that's very nice to know that your client actually noticed your strengths, like usually people don't
Yeah.
come up to you and tell you, hey, I think this is something nice about you. Like a lot of people have told me that I'm very good at giving presentations. So I think you learn a lot when people come up to you and tell you about
Yes.
your
Feedbacks
skills.
work very well.
Very well. Yeah.
And being on the other side of the world, being in the technical world, we don't really appreciate feedbacks because we do not want our client to give us feedback because we would want to change something. But on personal front, when I see that feedbacks really, really uh, change your way of thinking about yourself, and you are also encouraged to enhance your abilities, you don't keep it there. You would want to grow more. So yeah, feedbacks
Absolutely.
really work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely true. So I also wanted to know, like you transition into this product owner role, right? Without any prior experience or a degree in it. So what gave you that confidence to try, right?
Yeah. So as I said that having the domain knowledge was not enough. If I tell you, you won't believe that I had to give like 18 interviews within Amdocs just to crack one role as a product owner. And 18 interviews is no less. So when I started giving interviews, the first question that I would get from product managers is that, are you technical? Did you do any development? And I was like, no, but I'm in application support and I can understand the flow, I can create the roadmap. I had learned while working on the interviews. But if you don't believe or if you don't understand that, 18 interviews, getting rejected in all of them and then cracking just one had me work a lot. So just my application support background did not help me. I had to work on understanding what are roadmaps, what is development team doing, how do they know what is the product and what is the product owner's role actually there. Because for me, development is doing all the development. What is the product owner role? So product owner role is like explaining the team what they are developing. They do not know the wholesome background. They do not know what they are actually integrating, what they are building and integrating with something else. Like if I am a developer, I only know my application, what I'm doing. I wouldn't know what the other application is doing and integrating with my particular functionality. So all that knowledge understanding happened while I was giving the interviews. And learning was process of the interviews because every interview gave me something new to learn. Um, like one interview just explained me, or they asked me, okay, why don't you just go on the board and explain me how would you place an order in Amazon app? And that time I was placing so many orders for diapers for my kid that I actually knew what the process is. So I could just go draw that, I have to select from the list, and then that goes into the cart. I just go and make the payment. So she said, that's a client. You're talking from the customer's point of view. Now move to a product owner role and tell me how the application works. So that was like a question which I had never thought that, I could be working in that flow also. So yes, I went back, I learned, I understood how the applications work, what integrations do. So that's how I cracked and landed into my product owner role.
I must say that I'm absolutely proud of you, and I personally know your struggles, what you have been through to get into this role, and you did not give up. I think it's very it's very great about you. So yeah, kudos to you for that.
Thank
I
you.
also wanted to move forward and I wanted to ask you, what are some of the transferable skills that you learned in your app support role that helped you most in your, current product owner role?
So, being an application support, um, the best quality an application support engineer has is like a soldier on the war front. You are always ready for something that is coming your way. You're never planning your days. As an application support engineer, I never planned that, tomorrow if I get a P1, I will do this. No, I was always ready for what is coming my way. If the P1 is right now, I work right now. That is one skill that you can take to any role that you work in the world. That's one specific thing of application support engineer that can be taken into any other role. Being a product owner, creating a roadmap is like futuristic. You need to understand that I'm creating something not today. This is going to take time when I'm going to develop. How a feature should go into that development and into delivery and into the release part of it. For that, being an application support engineer, I know what the end result is supposed to be because I have heard a lot of client feedbacks. I have taken their feedbacks and I've given it back to my development team then. So when I was creating a roadmap or when I was creating a functionality or a product, my brain used to work like this that, you need to break this product. But my end result is satisfying my client because that's what I have learned as an app support that we satisfy our client. So for satisfaction, you need to go for a feedback. That's what you learn from an app support role. So this is a skill that, it works wonders when you know how to take a feedback, how you integrate that feedback into your actual work right now to enhance your functionality current on the current basis so that the end result or the outcome of your roadmap is satisfying your customer for what they actually wanted and not what you wanted to deliver them.
Yeah, that,
I
that
hope I have answered your question. I don't know if I went round,
No, you
but
did.
then,
You did. And in fact, I really liked what you just mentioned because I'm also like in a customer facing role, like customer support role. So I do agree with you there that you cannot plan your day. Like you cannot,
right.
there'll be unexpected, things coming at your way. So you need to be prepared. And I think, yeah, that's a very good skill to have, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You learn a lot. In product owner role, the best part is, you start working on some functionality, and by the time you have a PI1 delivery or you delivery by PI, and your customer comes back with a feedback, this is not what I wanted. Please change this.
Hmm.
I am ready for it. Maybe my development team is not ready because they have never been into application support engineer role because they are not ready for what is coming their way. They are like, oh,
Yeah.
we already started working on something else now. But I have to make them understand, no, we need to get back. We need to get back on what we did, what we delivered. There is some tweaks, there are some bugs we need to fix. Then only we can go for something else. So that helps me, it really helps.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's great to know. And I wanted to move forward and ask you, like, what resources, like books, courses, or mentors, or like on the job exposure that you had that helped you most in this product owner role or get into this product owner role?
For me, thankfully, I belong to a very, very amazing organization. Amdocs, as an organization, does not believe in training their engineers when they join. If you are a fresher when you join, they don't give you a liberty of, taking a month or 2 months to understand things. They will give you on-job training. You start working day one, and that's an amazing thing. I don't love theory. I love practical. I love to see what I'm doing, and that's how I learn. And that's amazing because me and Amdocs worked very well with that. So for me, what worked was practical work when I started working, but that could not have been possible if I did not have good mentors. My manager or my product manager was uh, a lady itself, and sometimes you don't find ladies empowering ladies. It's the other way, but she was amazing. Every step that I took right from the start, she has always been encouraging, mentoring me, and definitely the Scrum guidelines, the Scrum, the CSPO certification that did, it did help me in understanding the concepts really well. What is backlog refinement? What is sprint backlog? How do you prioritize? Do we say no to the stakeholders? Are we allowed to say no to the customers? Yes, we are allowed to do that. So all that concepts got cleared with this particular certification that I had, CSPO, and along with Scrum guidelines that I used to read through very often. I wouldn't say that I read any books because I'm not very good at reading. I don't like reading, but there are amazing books out there. There is a book club in my current company, which I recently joined, but I haven't started with reading at all. But they have amazing books. Like you have Lean Startup that will help you in understanding what is an MVP. How do you start with an MVP for a particular product? So these kind of books will help you. But I work through my practical job.
Okay, that's great. And I'm glad to know actually your manager has been so supportive, and trust me, I think it's a blessing to have a great manager. And I've met a lot of people who have made transition like internally within the company. And one thing that I've observed is like these people have always mentioned about their manager, like their manager, how they supported them through this transition. So do you think that it's very important or it is helpful to have a manager who's supporting you through that transition?
It's vital. There is no doubt in that you do your best, you give your 100%, but if there is no recognition, who will recognize you? Who will recognize the work that you have done? It's your immediate manager because he knows what you're putting there. You're putting your efforts. I used to work until 3 o'clock at night because I had a 2-year-old sometimes. And when I started with product owner role, the first day itself, there was a lockdown in India. So moving from physical working environment to directly a virtual background and virtual working environment, and then also having the interaction because this team was new for me. So everything changed in one day for me that day. So she was so understanding that she knew that I have a 2-year-old. She would tell me that you will log off by 3 o'clock. Do your job maybe later when she's sleeping. And I actually took that feedback and I was like, yes, I can do that. I used to log off by 3 o'clock because my daughter used to be super cranky by that time because morning 8 o'clock, if you're logging in and 3 o'clock you're logging off, she is already missing out on the major part of the day. And then I used to work from 11 o'clock at night until 3 o'clock in the morning. If I am doing that, what is the recognition I'm getting? It's the good words that she's putting in for me. It's the appreciation that she's giving it for me. On top of that, she's guiding me how to do it. Some things I was doing, sometimes, you don't understand that this way of doing is a long path. Is there a shorter way to do this? Is there a way that I can, formulate the solution in a better way for me? And that's how I learned from her. If your mentors don't teach you, you wouldn't know the tricks and trades to get your work done. So definitely a good manager is a blessing, as you said. And I would definitely recommend anybody who's becoming a manager should have the patience to be with the person you have under you, give them the liberty to do and shine in your role or in their role, you know.
That's that's wonderful. I think that's a great advice. And I think as a follow up, I wanted to ask you like, how did you convince your hiring manager or your like hiring team to give you a chance as a product owner?
Yeah. So as I said, that was the 18th interview that I gave. And my manager, she was open she was not looking for a perfect product owner. She was looking for flaws, but where you can shine. That's the best thing about her. If I if I had to give that interview and that interviewer or my manager was looking for a perfect person, I wouldn't be selected in that role also. But what she saw in me was I had the capability of understanding the domain. I explained her in my current role, in my application support role, how things work. Application support role does not, like in Amdocs, we do not support just one application. I had 9 applications that I used to support. How these 9 applications interact with each other, provide the output to the client is very difficult. I had junior application support engineers, I had seniors who would know or who were I would say they were masters of one particular application, but they knew some part of it for the other applications. But knowing each and every application was very difficult. And that's what she saw in me that, you have the capability to learn, you have the capability. to present because I actually presented her a flow. And she also told me that the best thing about you was you were confident. And product owner needs confidence because when you show that confidence to your team, they are confident in developing it. If you are vulnerable and you are not able to portray or explain or take the feedback from the client or explain the product well to your team, they wouldn't know what they have to develop, right? So I think she saw these qualities and she went ahead with me.
I think I think I can totally relate to you because I'm like a lead for like 9 products as well. So I can totally relate when you're telling these things. So yeah, great job on that.
Yeah.
Moving on, I just wanted to ask you like, what does your day to day look like as a product owner? Because even I have always been intrigued by like a product owner role. I always wanted to go into like product related roles. I want to specifically know what does a product owner actually do.
So the hierarchy works in a different way. Okay, I'll just explain you the hierarchy and then I'll explain you about my responsibilities. So uh, every organization have their way of tweaking the scrum role or hierarchy. For example, in Amdocs, we used to have our directors and VPs who are connecting with the client, understanding the requirements, gathering them along with the product manager. Product manager would create a roadmap for that particular intake of requests or requirements that we have. Along with product owner, the product manager creates a roadmap and creates the epic and the features for that particular product. So once the features are created, so features are created by usually the product owner. That's what I used to do. I used to create the features on the basis of the epics that are created. So epic is it is like an umbrella, which is quite wide. If I am saying that I need a functionality of an payment page, that's an epic. But in that payment page, I have a lot of things, my third-party connectivity, my token creation, my authentication, my credit card connectivity. So there are a lot of aspects in that when you come to payment. So breaking down them and creating features was my job. Breaking them further, if I'm saying that, my third party is supposed to be connecting, taking the request from me, identifying that particular credit card, authenticating that credit card, and responding back to me. So this one particular flow would be a feature, but dividing that, sending a request itself is called as a story, you know, because one person can develop one particular thing. You cannot expect him to, derive or develop the entire flow. So that's how the stories are created. So my job was to create the stories, review these features and stories with my team, help the team bringing the prioritized backlog because that's what I used to get from my stakeholders. Once I create my backlog, I used to work with the clients to understand what is their priority. Do you want your application to be up and running right on the day one? Come on, that's not going to happen. So what do you expect? If I just show the products on the list, is that okay with you? And they were like, yeah, that's fine with me. For the first day, I'm okay. So how the product owner starts is that, from the day one of the development, are we able to give the client the application up and running? Are they able to do the simple thing? For example, if Swiggy had to start where they just created an application and they are ready to integrate with the other hotels or other restaurants and provide that delivery to their home. But if they want to do the payment also at that point, it would be difficult. So they might have started with manual payments. So the product manager must have thought that if I just create this basic application, the clients might start using it. They will pay him when he will go and deliver it, right? So that's how the work happens. So that's the hierarchy. Solution architect creates solution, I create features, I create stories. So in my day-to-day work, I work with my team. I will work with my technical lead. He works very closely with me to understand the priority of the backlogs that we have, which stories should be going in into the sprint. I work with them until they understand the stories. And once they develop the story within the sprint, they will demo it back to me. They will demo the details, what they have created, the functionality that they have created. And I give my feedback along with understanding what the client wanted. If that's not how it has been developed, I explain them again. Maybe there are some changes that I need to make into my acceptance criteria. I do that, or I create a bug or a fix, and then we proceed further until the delivery is done. And The major part of my job happens in my current role is during the PI, that is product increment. So product increment happens every quarter. When you start with the quarter, you have to explain the entire team about what what backlog you're bringing in, what are we giving as an outcome for that particular 3 months, and what our client will get at the end of these 3 months. So that's my major job. So that's when I start creating the roadmap. I start breaking my features. I look at the solution design. I help the technical team create the high level design reviews or documents, and I review them with the clients and then get back the feedback. So that's my major job that happens is during the PI, and then the regular work that we have for the backlog. I'm sorry if I'm going too long. I'm so
No,
sorry
no,
about
you are
that.
not going too long. I mean, it's so interesting, and I love the way you have like broken it down, and it is and made it so clear and easily understandable. I really, really liked it. Thank you so much for that. I think this is very valuable, especially for people who are like trying to get into a product owner role, I believe. And I think, I mean, I've been talking to you a lot on these like product owner, product manager kind of roles. So I really wanted to know your perspective. What do you think is the main difference between a PO, like product owner, and a product manager? Do you happen to know?
Yeah. So at present, when you go to the market, IT market, there is really no difference between a product owner and product manager. Sometimes there is no product owner role at all. It's just the product manager role. But if you go in the hierarchy, how does the product manager and product owner role divide? So as I explained you some time back, that product manager works very closely with the client, brings in the requirement, creates a requirement document, what exactly they are expecting out of this functionality that we are planning to deliver, or what are their requirements for us. If I tell you on the telecom basis that, my client wants the billing to be generated for each subscription before, if you remember in the postpaid, we used to pay every month certain amount. And in that certain amount, for example, if I'm paying $10 or $20, I would get certain benefits. Like I can give unlimited messages, I can give you internet with that, maybe a 5G, and I can also give you some promotions where, during the Thanksgiving, your rate will go down or rate will go up or such kind of packages. Now, what happens is everything is unlimited. You don't have to pay for your talking, you don't have to pay for your messages. So, what is the subscription? So, when you see with your phone, you might sometimes get your um, Netflix or Hulu, such kind of subscriptions attached to your phone, right? So your packages are different right now. So how these packages are introduced or brought into the feature. So the client would say that, now my subscription needs to change. I need to provide certain promotions. I need to provide certain discounts. So this is where the product manager role comes in. He will tell him by analyzing the market and saying that, the ketchup bottle that was standing is very difficult to pour. Instead, why don't you make it inverted? That's how the Haynes came in. So that's the inverted bottle that a product manager must have thought that, analyzed by feedback from the customers. That whenever we are pouring the ketchup, we just had to hit the bottle from the back. Now the bottle that comes in, it's very easy to pour out. So that's when the feedbacks come in, analytics come in, you get the data points, and then you propose it to your client that why don't we go with this particular change in our product? And that's how the product manager role comes in, because his way of working is to identifying the market research, analyzing the data that you have, and strategically providing a very, very high level solution that he can provide to the customer and propose that solution to the customer.
Okay.
And if the customer agrees to that, then the product owner comes into role, where product owner will work with solution architect, understand the requirements on the basis of the documents that have been provided and the discussions between the product manager and the product owner. And then they create the further backlog of features, stories, and then work with the development team to deliver all this back to the product manager and explain him that this is what you expected. Now the bottle is inverted. But you know what? There is a caveat. The bottle is inverted, but it is glass. And even now, you have to hit the bottle. So that's when the discussion can happen that why not make it a plastic bottle because you can squeeze it. So That's how this works. The product manager is strategic, he's analytic, he does all the job, the research job for the other people in the world. And then product manager takes that, works with a solution architect and gets it delivered to the client.
Okay. So kind of like product owner, I would say is like a subset of product manager. Like it's like
Agreed. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So right now, when you say product managers and there are no product owners in that role, so let me explain you that this subset gets merged with the actual role. So right now, the product managers are doing end to end. They are doing analysis, they are doing market research, they are going strategy, they are creating the strategic documents, going to the clients, marketing this, coming back to the teams and creating the backlog for them.
Backlog, right. Prioritizing the backlog and all that. Okay, got it. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Right. So, and do you think that a degree is necessary to succeed as a product owner? Like, why and why not?
Now it depends what kind of degree you are doing. Okay, so product manager, when I say that you create strategies and you create analysis and you have to market it to your client, I suppose if you have a marketing degree, it is a plus. You know, education never betrays you. It's always a helpful hand. So I say that, education is important, but it is not a must. It's not a must. If you are a product owner, you have already landed into the role, you learn on your way. You don't need a degree to do it side by side just to learn the role that you're doing. But if you want to learn, enhance your role and abilities that you have and unleash the potential. For that, if you want to do your course or your degree, I would say it's a good thing. It's not a must, but it is good to have.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, like my thought process is the same. I think it's like it'll give you a leverage over the other, right? Like
Yes.
give you a
Yes.
leverage because you'll have the
It
knowledge.
it depends what kind of market course you're doing. If you
Yeah.
do an MBA in finance, you will have knowledge in finance, but how to market that particular thing
Mm.
and get back the bonus points that you need from the client, that will teach you only through marketing. And probably when you start doing the marketing, you'll learn it eventually. These are
Got it.
tactics or skills that you grow with.
Got it. Yeah. And I think I have a last question for you. Not exactly a question, but I wanted to know what advice do you have for anybody who's trying to move into a product owner role? Like a final advice.
So my advice would be there are two things. There's the world is changing quite a lot. Yeah, right now, there is AI, there is ML, there is so many things that are happening. There can be a technical product manager, there can be a non-technical product manager. If you are a technical person, I would recommend that you be in the technical line and create a product manager role or be into a product manager role that is technical, because there are technical roles out there for product managers also, where you understand the background, you understand the concept, and you create a solution document. You don't need a solution architect for that. So it is a merge of solution architect and the product manager role. But my advice for the non-technical people who are functional, just like me, I'm a functional product owner. I just landed into a technical product owner role into Centene. I'm just striving there and surviving. But if you are a functional one, my advice would be grow more technically, learn your way, because being functional is no more enough in this world of IT. You have to be technical, you have to learn. And when anybody who is trying to try from a different role to a product manager or product owner role, understand what functionalities, what work is there, what responsibilities are involved in that role. Will you be able to justify that role? Because sometimes I have seen product managers who have come from a development background and they are not bothered what the client feels, what is the outcome that is there. They are only bothered about the technicalities. Why am I doing this into Java? Why not Python? That's not your job. Leave it up to the developers. Let them decide what they want to do. So, but that curiosity is because he's more technical than he is more sound as a domain oriented. So I would say that you need to see what potential you have. If you have technical potential, then I would definitely not recommend for a functional product owner or a product manager role. And last but not least, the advice that I want to give anyone or everyone is be confident in what you're doing. Everything will fall in places. Sometimes when you start, you feel, oh, it's too overwhelming and I'm not able to do it. My advice would be, since you're changing from a different role and moving into a product manager or product owner role, you would find it very overwhelming to take on things, to understand. Don't give up. Don't give up, and things will fall into places. All you need is confidence and patience.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a very great advice. And I must say I really really enjoyed listening to you, to be very honest. I know I keep listening to you on the phone, but this time like talking like this, I've learned a
Yeah,
lot. And I must say that these are like some really great advices that should be treasured. And thank you so much for coming on my podcast. Yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
it was my pleasure to be here. I am amazed with the work that you are doing, Khushbu, already. I know I'm not able to, call you Khushbu because we have our own nicknames and
Yeah.
we call each other with that. But I must tell you now that I have the platform to say that we are, as a family, super proud of you for what you are doing, for the community that you're doing,
Thank
how
you.
you're helping people. It's not easy being a wife, being a mother, being a technical lead, and working through your ways, finding your ways, and getting things done here, and then going ahead and supporting or helping others who are there outside the world who needs some help. It's not easy for anybody to do, and nobody, I mean, not everybody wants to do this because they are still struggling in the roles that they have, and you are emerging from those roles and getting into a different level to lead other people, lead other women. It's amazing. I must say that you are doing a great job.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I really appreciate it. And I don't know, I might cry now. And I think honestly, I might clip this and put it in front. But yeah, but there has been so many times that people actually like, there have been no shows. So many times people get busy. Like I'm all ready and I'm waiting for people to come in on the call and then they don't show up. But I still don't give up, like I just keep my patience and wait. I know, like you said, it's tough, but
It's
I
tough,
really want
and
to help people out there.
the only thing that you were talking about the advice, right? Just not with respect to product owner, product manager role, because I'm working into that. But what I see in you is that you never give up.
Yeah.
You try to achieve that you have thought for yourself, and for that, it needs a lot of patience. You create a roadmap in your mind. It's not product owners are not doing anything great. They are creating roadmap, but you are creating a roadmap for yourself in your mind, and you're working through it. You never give up. Even though there are situations, I know you personally, and I know how kids work, how we work around our kids. Sometimes we think that tomorrow you will be taking an interview, and I remember you calling me up and saying that, things did not work out. He fell sick or she fell sick, your daughter fell sick, but you still go ahead and take that interview. It's not easy.
Thank you.
Not everybody can have that capability to give up on things, or, tackle things simultaneously and make it possible.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
being the multitasker, you're doing great. And I am overwhelmed to be here because it's my sister's show or sister's podcast. I wanted to be here. So I'm
Thank
super proud.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.